What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to more Black Desert. So, I wanted to bring back a popular series that we had on the channel quite a while ago, and we just kind of stopped doing it ever since like the whole Central Market came out and like something happened. But the series is called Window Shopping, and basically the idea and concept of it is we check out the market, and throughout like future videos, the concept is looking at a tab of whatever is on the market, watching the prices. This is going to be like I guess, once a week video every Monday. I guess we can start and see how that goes. But yeah, we can go down the list and basically just look at all the items. And basically, I'll give you my ideas, thoughts, and opinions. Are these good? Should you try to enhance it? I'll just give you my opinions, thoughts of everything throughout, like all my knowledge, I guess, of the game. Should you buy it now? Is it worth enhancing, kind of thing? So keep in mind, this is on the North American server, and prices will fluctuate between servers, so just keep that in mind. However, assuming that the events go on the same servers at the same time, generally, like the enhancing, should I buy it now? Is it worth it? Kind of more or less similar. But hopefully this series will do well, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. It's not a new concept but on the channel, but hopefully we can make it one, so that would be pretty interesting. So I guess today, as our first item, we can always start looking at main weapons, and then in the future episodes we'll go down the list. We'll cover everything, but I just wanted to make it like in-depth kind of thing. So today we'll be looking at like the low tier to high tier items, and I'll tell you, like, is it worth it at this point? Should you just buy it? Can you even buy it? And so one thing with Central Market, because I stopped it last time, the changes are that like all the weapons, assuming like boss gear and stuff, they kind of are all equalized in a way. For example, like they all have the same high or min-max prices, but if you see some listed, they'll be like in the middle, but like they all have a low of, for example, 12.4 billion to 14.2. That will go for all the classes, which makes it a little easier, I guess. So we shall see how that goes. And then we'll look at the items that like, this classes might be the meta, this might not be, so you might see more of these on the market. So, yeah, let's start with main hand weapons today. I guess we'll start with the DK weapon, because that's the one I really know. So, for all of you who are playing Dark Knight in general, well, I guess it doesn't really matter, but most people play Succession, and then there are people who like Awakening, but most people play Succession just because it is stronger in a way. In my opinion, I just don't like C-swapping as much and doing the extra ability, so I like Succession. That's always been for all the classes, but yeah, so Zarka's for DKs might be a little bit higher, and otherwise it's either Black Star or Zarka. I don't think many people actually go Offin. I don't think Offins are a bad choice. It's just when you're progressing into the late game. So let's say, I don't know, there's not really a specific number, but like when I switched, I used Offin when I was around like 250-ish AP with Kudum, and then like once you can hit the 261 AP bracket, whether you're using Kudum or Nuver, you probably want to switch to either Zarka or Black Star. So that's just kind of the meta right now. We'll go over like all the classes just for the main hands anyway, but let's start with Dark Knight anyway. So the universal question, whether no matter what class I've gotten a lot, is Black Star or Zarka or Offin. I pretty much just explained the Offin, and it's more good for like early to mid game, and then it kind of falls off once you get to like start pushing into the end game where you want Zarka or Black Star. So, Zarka or Black Star then. The question is, do you like grinding a lot, or do you like doing everything? And Black Star is obviously considered the best in slot for grinding PvE stuff, and Zarka has slightly more like human, or not human damage, all species damage. So that means it'll be very slightly better in PvP. And I have tested both of them. So I do have a Pen Zarka right now with Capra 6, and I've also had a Tet Blackstar. So in my opinion, when I grinded, I did about a 30-hour test at Star's End. And the difference between a Zarka, this was before I had Capris in it, so it was roughly the same. I made about maybe 10 mil extra an hour at Star's End in trash loot with a Black Star and a Zarka. Ultimately, in the end, I decided I'd sell the Black Star because at the time it was about like 16 billion for a Tet, and honestly, I don't grind enough to make it like pay off eventually. Like 10 mil times a number of hours, and eventually if you make 16 bill an hour extra compared to what you would be using with Zarka, it was going to take a really long time to the point where I was not going to pay it off. So I just sold it, made some money, and then decided I wanted to cap risk my Zarka at that time. But I still use Zarka because, well, honestly, I had a Pen Zarka because before Black Star even came out. This was like, I don't know, 2-3 years ago or something like that. I don't know, probably 3 at this point. And so I never really felt the need to swap. So if you ask me, that's the reason why I don't have Black Star, because I had a pen before it even came out. So yeah, I've also tested it both, so here's where we're at. Also, in terms of prices, obviously the Zarka is a little bit more expensive than the Black Star right now. You shouldn't really be going pen often, gonna be completely honest. Like, if for some reason you already have an often at pen, just keep it, dude. But if you're like Tet and thinking about, what should I go for pen next? Probably Zarka. And the thing with Black Star is, it's not that it's bad. It's just, since you can't Capris it, you're like limiting yourself to like the AP you get without Capris until you hit pen. And as we all know, going for a pen Black Star is not the easiest thing in this world. So you have to kind of make a decision with your current like AP bracket. And yeah. But if you just like grinding, just get a Black Star. If you like PvPing, get a Zarka. So that's my opinion for the DK, and especially since Succession is a pretty big thing, I thought I'd tell you guys that. And yeah, look at the overall stuff. As for all the green weapons, I think if you're a new player, what you want to probably do is, as a new player, here's my general opinion. Like, this is actually if you are new, not like, hey, this is my second character. If you are new and you're looking for something, I'd probably just go with whatever has the highest AP. So I'm pretty sure that is Rosar for green. And then I would probably skip getting a Laverdo. So the difference between Laverdo and Zarka, so this is something we had back in the day. This was probably like, I don't know, 4 years ago at this point. People were enhancing Laverdos. And so ultimately the AP is the exact same as Zarka. The difference between these two is it has less accuracy, I believe. So like 182 accuracy at pen and 200. And accuracy is actually a big deal, believe it or not. You might not see it in like just early game. But with the Zarkas being so readily available and how much money or silver people make these days, just by literally logging in, I think you can make about 100 mil a week from just logging in, taking your bonuses. You literally don't even have to play the game. You make 100 mil a week. So yeah, I would, if you are starting with green Rosar weapons, I guess this is for any class in general. This is just not a DK specific, but like everything. Literally get the highest AP one you can until you transition into boss gear. What is boss gear? Things with the yellow or red icon or borders around it. So that's why we don't really go into Laverdo. We have a little bit of, the AP is the same, accuracy is a little bit lower. That's why it's cheaper. Obviously the price is significantly different, but I think it'll be worth it in the end, just having the extra accuracy. So at Pen, you have 182, and at Tet, you still have a little bit more than Pen Liberto, but less AP. So that's the thing. So yeah, that covers like the basics of all classes. This take a quick look at, just go down the list of all the main hands, and I'll give you my opinions on like, is it worth it? I'm pretty sure at this current time, at least on the NA server anyway, making Zarkas, enhancing it yourself is probably not worth it. The reasoning is, like, for example, if you were to make a Pen any other boss gear, you could probably sell it for more, buy your Pen Zarka, and then still have money left over. That is the reason why enhancing Zarkas right now is not at like the best. So if it goes up, the opinion might change, but as of right now, you're better off enhancing like Uragon shoes or something, literally any boss armor, selling it, buying the Zarka, having extra change left over, and that's more value. So let's start with the longsword, which is Warrior and Valkyrie. Warrior is in a good spot. I think Valkyries are actually pretty strong, just not many people play them. So anything with the shield right now, pretty strong in my opinion. The class overall, pretty good. As far as I know, I'm not 100% sure on this, but like Warriors and Valkyries have like lower accuracy, so it's kind of one of those classes where often is actually bad, like just across the board bad. So one of those Black Star or Zarka things. I think that's just across the board, Black Star or Zarka, the way to go endgame. But check out the prices and how many are even listed. Right now we have longswords at around roughly 12 billion to 12 to 13 billion is probably the average you'll get it from. And then Zarkas, how many are actually listed? That's actually kind of surprising. Like, if you put an order for a Pen Zarka for any class, you could probably get it within a day. It's just, is the answer, should you buy it? Yes, you should buy it. No, you should not make it. So, yeah, let's see. Overall, pretty interesting. What we're looking at right now is how many are in stock, and if you are a currently Warrior or Valkyrie, would it be easy for you to get a weapon? Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. Warriors, Valkyrie is pretty good right now in the current meta. Longbow, Ranger exclusive. Rangers are actually low-key good. It's just a lot of people don't play it. I think Rangers have quite a bit of accuracy, so I've seen some people use offense, but not that many. But again, the overall is not many people are making it. So before we saw like 4 or 5 Black Stars listed. Now we only see 2 for Rangers, so I guess there are people playing it, but there's not many listed. You can actually buy a longbow that's Pen off the market for Rangers right now. That's cool. Amulets are for sorceresses. I heard they also had pretty low accuracy bases. So let's see. You can buy Tet Black Stars, good. And you can buy some pens. Let's see how much. Ooh, these are 14 billion, whereas the Warrior or the other ones are at like 12. I see. Kind of weird. If you put an order on a Tet, you can get it within a day. It's just none listed at the moment. Yeah, don't really know what to say for that, except there are, as of the 3 classes or 4 we've already looked at, Rangers seem like the ones that are more commonly sought after. Zerkers, in my opinion, very strong class. I see, like, I'm pretty sure just the overall consensus of the people I know that play Zerker say that you should probably just go either these 2. In terms of often, you guys have seen like Choice stream. He has an often, and the reason why he has it is because he bought it for like 5 mil back in the day. And even he said that you should probably just not get it. But if you already have it, you have it, and just keep it. Let's see. There actually aren't that many Zerker weapons listed, to be honest. That's like kind of shocking. Can buy them, but it's not that many. Wait. So yeah, Zerker's really in a good spot right now, and if you are planning on choosing one, Zerker is a very strong choice. Tamers, Kunos, and Ninjas. Well, at least Kunos and Ninjas are in a good spot. Tamers are good at 1v1s. I don't think there are really any bad classes per se, but there are some that are just better than the others. None of them are particularly bad. So, a lot of Black Stars listed. A lot of Zarkas. I guess it's because you see how some of the weapons you can only use for one class, but these you can use for 3. I always thought that was kind of weird, but I mean, I guess with more classes that are able to use a certain weapon, there will be more in stock, which makes sense. So, yeah, overall pretty good. Kunos have high accuracy. At least I think they do. Kunos have high accuracy. I'm not sure about Ninja. I think Ninja has like high evasion. But that makes sense. So that's kind of why. I'm pretty sure if you were to use it often, it would be on a Kuno. Otherwise, just Zarka and Blackstar across the board. Pretty good. A lot of them in stock, so if you are one of those 3 classes, you will not have any issues buying the weapon. Blade class, Musa, Meiwa. Very fast-moving classes. So, in my experience, when I PvP against Musas and Meiwas, they dash around a lot and try to back attack you. So, in my opinion, if you're like mid to high-end PvP, from my experience, if you're going to play one of those classes, you probably want to have more accuracy to land a hit on them, especially since you're going to be in constant motion. So, I think accuracy is a very strong choice over often. And we don't really talk about Blackstar much because it's more for PvE, and just across the board it's good. So it's really often versus Zarka for all these classes. So high mobility classes means you're going to be trying to like get behind the enemy, and mostly can you land a CC on the enemy, and if so, then you're doing great. So I think Zarka across the board is just better for both Musa and Meiwa. I heard that Meiwas are not in a great spot right now. Musa's not really either, but I mean, the high movement, and it's not like you can't play the class. It's more just like it's harder to play right now. Oh boy, we're getting into the staff classes. We all know that Succession Wizards are, and Witches, completely honest, are very strong right now. So, yeah. Zarka. Just get Zarka. I know people say that, like, Witches and Wizards have high accuracy based, like, modifiers just, like, from the passive bonuses and stuff. But, like, assuming you're going to be, like, an all-purpose Witch or Wizard, just get the extra accuracy. If you can hit an AoE of people, or like AoE a group of people in war, and just because the accuracy, you're doing great. And the damage modifiers are already high enough, especially if you're playing Suck Wizard, that you'd want the accuracy over the extra damage, because you're already gonna hit the enemy. You have like meteors, blizzards, and all that stuff. No matter what, you're going to hit the enemy, so you just want to ensure your accuracy is a little bit higher. So, overall, staff classes, very strong in general. Accuracy is probably the way to go. Unless you can hit a pin Blackstar, then that's also good too. That's, well, for everything. We just went over Dark Knights. DKs have a high base accuracy. I know that. And I think just more accuracy, because currently the evasion meta is kind of slowing down, but it's also like if you can stack more accuracy on a DK, you can hit the evasion people and you'll be doing just fine. So I think I'm probably going to stay with Zarka all the way to C20. So this is what's going to happen for me personally. I either hit C20 Zarka first, or I hit a Pen Black Star. But the realistically option is probably going to get Capris 20 in my Zarka before I hit a Pen Black Star. Mystic and Meiwa, or not, Mystic and Striker. If you get grabbed by a Striker, you're gonna die. It doesn't matter what they use. So, I think Strikers actually have a lower accuracy base, but they have a grab, so it doesn't matter. So, I would just probably get the Zarka. When I fight some of my guildies, they just like grab me across the screen. I'm like, how does this even happen? And then they leg drop you, and you're dead. So, overall, I guess it doesn't matter as much for these, but I think most people prefer the Zarka. But I guess, like, it doesn't really matter which one. Now we're going into the Lon, the high mobility class. I actually don't really see many people use often. I think it's just straight up across the board. There's a lot of them listed. Not many of these. So, yeah, I think Zarka, easier to get, probably a little bit cheaper, and you can buy a pen. Crossbow, the Archer class. Now, when Archer first came out, I thought they were really strong. And apparently they fell off the board in terms of, like, overall usefulness. But I don't know why. I always thought they were strong. I guess if I had to guess why people don't play archers as much anymore is because you can get CC'd easier, and like once you figure out how to fight against an archer, like they have high mobility and there's like high evasion, but like if you know how to gap close against them, then like there's not much you can do. So I guess that's it. So I guess it doesn't really matter which one you choose for this one. It's more like here's can you avoid the enemy. Otherwise, I think damage is strong. So I don't think it really matters, but when in doubt, just go Zarka. That's just like across the board, all the classes. Shy. Now this is a special case because Shy is very strong at grinding. You don't really see them in PvP much, but like I've also seen people get destroyed by a Shy in PvP, which is actually kind of funny. But this is one of those cases where I'd say go directly into Black Star for Shy, because you're going to see them grinding more often than not. Definitely don't go often for Shy. You want to go Black Star. And I would say Black Star over Zarka, because you're not really going to be PvPing with Shy. I mean, you can, but you don't see it often. So, yeah. It's not many of these other weapons listed. A lot of Black Stars. Pretty self-explanatory why. Shy is more used as like a support class, and they're good grinders. Don't really know what to say about that. If you get caught in the bubble by the Shy in like war, you're probably gonna die. So watch out for the bubble. It's bad, or it's good when they're on your team. Guardians are very strong. They do a lot of damage, and yeah, you just want Zarka because they have a sweeping AoE, and you want to make sure you're actually hitting the targets. So the AoE is large, damage is great. Go Zarka or Black Star, and there's a lot of them on the market, so you can buy them. Hisashin next. Now, I don't really have much experience fighting Hisashins, nor do I have much experience playing it. I have a level 59 Hisashin that I played throughout the season, and then just, honestly, I got bored, but like I saw people like Vert playing that, they enjoy it. Hisashin, pretty good if you know how to play it. Pretty sure you just, the better choice is probably Zarka over often. And or Black Star. You can buy a lot of them. There's 3 pens sitting on the market. That's good. Nova. People say Nova is bad. I don't really know. Like, I've played I have a level 61 Nova, and I played it throughout the season. I've only played Awakening. I've never played Succession, so that's maybe something we'll do in the near future, to go do the Succession questline and get it. Oh, I think I have the Succession questline done. I just have to actually like spec into it. So that's something I want to test in the future. I think people say that like Awakening Nova is more fun to play, but obviously the Succession is a little bit stronger. So I'm not really sure. We'll just have to test it ourselves. And, of course, in terms of the new class, we have Sage. We don't even have an Awakening for Sage yet. It comes out in probably like 2-3 more weeks from now. Something like that. So it's hard to really give a full, like, explanation for this because we only have Succession. And my Sage is only level 60. So from what I've seen, the mobility is high. Damage is pretty solid. The AoE is good. So in my opinion, what I've noticed, it feels like a mix of Sorceress and a staff class. So you can high mobility. I think it's good. Damage is okay. In terms of 1v1, it doesn't really have many protection skills. So like forward guard, super armor, invincibility. Damage, good for a group. So like an RBF, you'll do just fine. Wars, you'll do fine. 1v1s, not so fine. But it's hard to really say until Awakening comes out, and then maybe we'll come back to this class. But overall, I think it is a solid class. It's not really good, or... Well, it's not really for me. It's, I like high mobility classes. That's just my play style. But like if you're thinking about trying out Sage because it's new, everything except the mobility is good. So that's up to you. So that's pretty much all the weapons in my opinion. There's not really too many of these. If you wanted one, you can get it. But overall, I think the general consensus of every class is, for the most part, Zarka and Blackstar's way to go. Offens are very specific cases. That's just my opinions from all the people that I talk to, all the streamers, YouTubers, and my guildies, and just like other people. So, yeah. When in doubt, just go Zarka or Blackstar. Do you PvP a lot? Get Blackstar. Do you PvP or just do everything? Get Zarka. But overall, I think you should know your class more than I know your class. So, like, it really depends on your play style and where you're at in progression. So, for example, like, hey, are you 220 AP versus are you 300 AP kind of thing? So it's more of those, like, what do you feel you think is better? So in my opinion, just overall, accuracy is a late game thing. If you have an often, don't worry about it. You could probably transition into something else later on. My general rule is if you already have a pen of something, stay with it until you feel like you need to transition out of it. So it's not like you're gonna lose fights because you didn't have like one or the other. You could probably still kill some. Some classes are just stronger. So if you aren't playing a Succession wizard and you can't kill them, don't worry. Neither can any other class. So it's fine. So, yeah, I guess if you have any questions or like concerns, I don't know where you're at in the game, but if you need help or you need some advice, feel free to ask in the comments. Join my Discord as well. And hopefully you enjoyed this first episode. Next time we can go over like sub and awakening weapons. We'll go through everything eventually. It'll be fun when we get to the whole alchemy system. Alchemy stones and whole like mountain ship things, because that one is going to be a lot of detail that some of you guys probably won't even care about because you don't life skill. But anyway, this is across the board good. And one thing we could do to wrap up, this is probably going to be the end of everything. We'll look at the volatile price items and tell you what I think is good and what's not. Pen Blackstar armor. No, don't get it. The reason why we don't do this is because Fallen God already exists. The armor, it exists. If you for some reason have 40 billion silver, just get the Fallen God. It's better. And you can actually go past Pen Blackstar stats with Fallen God. Fallen God try at... Sometimes I see like a try just sitting on the market. That's actually something I'm working on. It's like a 10% to go to try at 190 stack. We're working on it, but why that's even involatile, I have no idea. Splendid Alchemy Stone of Protection. Why that's even volatile right now, I have no idea. But when in doubt, just get a Volsart. Ronaros Ring. I swear, that's like a meme item. Same with Bencho Necklace. Pen Monos Processing Tools. I don't know. If you have Tet, you're probably good. If you have Try, that's also good. Pen is just for the rich people. It's hard to go over what this is because, like, it is a better Bencho neck, basically. So, it's cheaper than a pen. It's the same thing. So I'd get it revitalized over a Bencho if you were looking at it. And then everything else is just... Never... Dude, just don't buy these. Even if you see one on the market, don't buy these. Pen Green is just a meme. If you get it, you're probably getting it for like tier 1 Node Wars. That's probably the reason. Which is AP, DP capped, and you're getting the extra stats from the all species damage. So that's why people still get these, I believe. But it's really for a specific tier 1 Node War. That's it. But anyway, we'll go over like more stuff later on. We'll get into like accessories and armors later. But hopefully you enjoyed episode 1. If you did, drop a quick like on the video. Hopefully we can get it off to a good start. And yeah, if you have any questions, comments, or you need help with any gear advice, join my Discord. Leave it in the comments. I read both of them. So yeah, next time we'll get into cooler stuff. So see you guys later.